members who work for that organization, skills and qualification. But then, what makes people leave their houses in the morning? Every day, you leave your family, you leave your loved ones, you leave the comfort of your house to go to work. What makes anybody do that? It is motivation. It's only when you're motivated, you are anxious to go to work. And when you get to work, you are productive. So today, I would like to tell us the secret, rather, of a motivated team. What makes a team to be motivated? But then, I would want to look at the leader, the manager, who is women. We as what makes us get to our targets and motivate our teams. There are certain skills. There are several factors that contribute to this. But let's start with the skills that we as managers, we as leaders need to motivate our teams. First of all, I would like to talk about team building skills. We need to, for those who don't have this skill, you need to get it. You need to learn it. You must have it because the team brings about synergy and an environment of support. Remember that no man is an island and a tree does not make a forest. Now, let me paint a scenario. In the forest, you find out that there are different trees, different species of trees, plants. So relate this to the diversity of skills. Your own skills, Shalini, is maybe entirely different from my own skills. But today, we have to come together to make WEF successful. You have to moderate. I have to speak. Somebody needs to listen and learn. So if I just if there's nobody to correct, so you have a role, and that is exactly how it is in an organization. So for a leader to be successful, for a leader to be able to motivate his or team, he or she must be able to identify the diverse skills that your team members have and put people in roles where they can function properly. If I'm functioning, if I'm being given a role that I can function in very well, I won't be envious of the other person. I would, because you will end up being productive. Now, the issue is that most leaders, it's not about, oh, I have a big brand, my brand is known. Who makes that brand? It's your people. And if your people are not motivated, then you have an issue in your hands. Why do so many businesses, why do they fail? Because they don't have people focused or people oriented policies. They don't respect their staff. They don't have those people who want to do the work at heart. You're not passionate. You're not empathetic about them. You don't take care of your people. Then what do you get? Garbage in, garbage out. If I'm not happy, there is no how I can be productive. It's difficult to be productive. You just keep making mistakes. You find out that the person keeps making mistakes because his mind or her mind is not in that business. So as a team leader, a leader who is interested in keeping his or her team motivated to meet the needs of the organization must then be able to put round pegs in round holes. Once I'm functioning properly and I'm getting results, it will be easy for me to work with my colleague. There will be synergy. People can relate. And then the work goes. But once you put somebody who is not fit in a role, he keeps struggling as a resistant job. Then your time. Let me go to teamwork gives a sense of belonging in the workplace. We'll achieve more if we don't dwell much on, who takes the credit or creates, who takes the credit or this. But if the staff knows that all of us worked, I did my best, and this person passed it on to me, and then passed it on, then you actually see the people celebrating together as one. And they say, wow, we made it, not I made it. Now, I want to talk on the second skill, that a team leader. So you see, in the long run, having a motivated and a productive team goes a lot to do with the team lead, the person at the top, how you are able to bring these people together using the next skill, which I would like to say is emotional intelligence. As a team leader, you must be emotionally intelligent. And I would like to define emotional intelligence as the capacity to be aware of, control, and handle your own emotions as a leader. Why? Somebody you've always known to come to work cheerful comes in frowning. An emotionally intelligent leader would be able to spot it. A team member who is always at the A level suddenly misbehaves and drops in performance. That's not the time to give a query. You should be able to find out why. Once your team members come into the office, you should be able to know who is fine and who is not fine. It's really disheartening when you find leaders, managers, team leads who are not emotionally intelligent. They tend to destroy a lot of things, because when I'm going through my downtime and you're insensitive, you are also a human being. And one day you may be going through your downtime. Maybe the top management, they are on your neck that you have to do this. And the people just say, oh, I don't care. That's his problem. Let him handle it. So you have to be emotionally intelligent. The third skill I would like to talk about today is communication skill. How do you use the skill to motivate your staff? How? You find, employees, I'd like to read now that employees who feel respected by their leaders and feel confident enough to speak out freely without fear or consequences are able to communicate clearly and build trust. What kind of a leader are you? Are you a leader who listens? Are you a leader? The cleaner can come in and say, sir, I have an observation. I have heard of an instance where a company was having issue, and you know who gave them the solution? It was the messenger. in the office. Why? Because he had worked with the organization for a very long time. Similar incidents had occurred, and he knew, due to rapport and everything, they are there. They even know more than you as the team leader at times. So he was able to say, oh, some years back, we had similar issue, and this was how it was resolved. Because that leader listened, they got solution at the tap of the finger. We are strong as our weakest link. So a good team lead who wants to keep his team motivated must operate an open door policy where your staff can easily come to you and, interact and give you feedback. You must always get feedback. Even when they tell you, when you think it's all right and they say no, how do we solve this? This is the issue. And that takes me to transparency. That takes me to the fact that as a good team leader, if you want your people to be motivated, I know that there are some secrets, like the state of health organization, maybe some policy bring up, don't keep them in the dark. I'm not saying expose everything. This is the situation, guys. The company is going through a storm now, and this is the plan of the investors. How do we do it? I know of an organization when the investors came up and said they were proposing to sell off the organization. But the team lead, the management is what is happening. But we don't want this we don't want the merger, or we don't want somebody else to buy us over. Now, we have to cut down on some things, but you can be sure that the key things that you need will not be touched. I want to ask, what do you think that team will do? They went all the way down. And when the board was saying they should go this way, the company have to be sold, the manager said, trust me, give me 6 months. And before that time, everybody put in their best and they got success. And, as I speak, I'm just imagining them throwing, being happy and shouting, ho, we made it. Now, I don't want us to forget the fact that we all have different temperaments. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different mindsets. We all equally have different experiences in life and about life. But then, once we get to the workplace, we all have to come together as one and work towards organizational goal. Please, for you to have a motivated team, for your organization, your company to grow, you must be transparent. You must be honest with your workers, because in the long run, they do the job, not you. You can't do everything. You cannot. So they do the job. So it is important for you as a manager to always foster open communications between your employees to achieve better organizations. And when you stand on your feet, they know that, yes, something is wrong. They don't even want to hurt you. But then when you treat people as if they are not human beings, the negative side of them tend to come up. I read a story recently about
Ruth,
a
you'll
tribe
have 1 more minute
somewhere
left.
in South. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now I'll now go to the action points. Lead by example. Be a hands-on coach. Have an idea of what you're doing so that you're able to help your staff when they're when they're stuck. Then 3, encourage skill acquisition. Train your staff. Train them. And when you train them in the long run, you get the benefits. Don't encourage gossip. Be plain. Let the people know that you can't go to this guy to spread gossip or whatever. If somebody comes to you to gossip, then ultimately all you need to do is, okay, let me call this person. Just be transparent and be open. Then you also need to have excellent judgment. Filter opinions, emotions, expectations, assumptions, and biases. You have to be able to filter it. Then build trust. Ensure that your people trust you. Encourage happiness. On Fridays, well, here in Nigeria, on Fridays, we call it Thank God It's Friday. So you see people in motivated directorates, even in a big organization, you still see people come together to celebrate. You want to go to work.
Thank you, Ruth. I'll have to request you to give us time now.
I have so much to say, but then it's okay.
No, thank you so much. Apologize for joining in late. Technical glitches. It's not an excuse. But again, welcome to this session. Ruth, you've spoken really well about the different skills that we need. And I think the attendees would have gone through your profile. But as I'd just like to reiterate, Ruth is a consultant, sales coach, an entrepreneur, author, and a speaker. And thank you for your time. I'd like to now invite Shalini Srivastav. Shalini is a leadership mastery expert and a business transformation consultant and a leadership coach. So over to you, Shalini. You'll have to give me 30 seconds before the 2:30 bell rings out here.
Sure.
All yours.
Thank you very much, Priya, and thank you so much, Ruth, for being here. Thank you to the participants. Ruth, that was a very amazing and very engrossing session that you had. So I will try and take it forward from there. So today I'm going to discuss something about discover the secrets of a motivated team. But even before that, I want to take you to that point or a situation where you walked into a shop and there was the staff member who walked up and said, "Hello, how are you doing?" And you felt that warmth. You felt that connection. Now let's go to another shop. And there you walk in and a staff member walks up and he also tells you, "Hello, how are you doing?" But something is missing. That warmth is missing. You don't feel the connection. Now what is the difference between these two? The first person is operating out of his heart. So he is genuinely interested in finding out how are you doing and he cares for you. Whereas the other person is operating out of his mind, he is doing what he's been told to do. So the difference between both of them is what leads to motivation. So many people who are the first kind of person who are operating out of their heart, many of them when they come together, they make a motivated team. Whereas the other kinds who are doing it because they've been told to do it, they make a team. May not be a motivated team. So the difference in the results between a motivated team and a team is about 10 times. So isn't it important for us to really understand what is that secret which can give a 10 times difference? And this is what I'm going to talk about, the secret toolkit of a motivated team. See, when the team operates out of heart, that team is motivated to a very different degree as compared to the team which is operating for their paycheck, which is operating to achieve their KRAs, and which is operating to get the work done because they have to get it done. And we will try and understand this difference. So the 8 secrets that I have, which actually make the toolkit of a motivated team. The first one is the leader's passion. If the person who's leading the team is passionate, he has a very clear vision, and also has a common goal that he sets up for the team gets inspired. An inspired team is always a motivated team. So it is very important for the team leader to really discuss, share, and express the vision and the passion that he has, which would lead the team to be more inspired. Inspired team, motivated team. The second secret is the respect. Each member of the team, they need to have respect amongst themselves. They need to belong to the team together. They need to respect each other's belief systems, value systems, and that is when they have that whole liking to each other and work together. Now, when they respect each other, they are a team of motivated individuals who like to work together, who are able to achieve the goal more collaboratively. Coming to the third point, remember we have 8 secrets. I'm talking about the third one. Recognizing the individuality of each other without the feeling of competition is the third secret of a motivated team. Now, if every team member is competing with each other, then it's not a motivated team, because the competition has to be with the external. The results that you're trying to drive in against the external forces is the competition, not within. So recognizing everybody's individuality, understanding them and their strengths, and then working together with no competition between themselves is the third secret of a motivated team. The fourth one is the trust. Now, trust that everybody has each other's back. Know that somebody will always stand up for you. Know that there is somebody who's going to be there if there is something going wrong. That is important for a team to be motivated and work together for the common objective. So trust, I've put it as fourth, but you can put it on top, you can put it wherever, it just goes through. It's the most important thing for a team to work together. Coming to the fifth one. Fifth is the conversations. And I'm not only talking about communication. It's about conversations between team members. What kind of conversations they are having? How are they able to bring out what each person contributes and gets it on the table? How are we going to work together is the conversation that a motivated team has. You need to reflect, is your team talking like that or not? If not, then that is probably something that you may like to work on. So that is the fifth one, conversations between team members. Coming to the sixth secret of a motivated team is how the team is being a growth catalyst to each other. How are they growing together? How are they helping each other? How are they helping the other person of the team to become the best version of themselves? How each person is saying, okay, what can I do to make you successful? How can I help you to achieve your objectives? So when the team or when the individual moves out from their own success to somebody else's success in the team, then that is when the whole dynamics changes from a team to becoming a motivated team. That's when everybody is working together, because each of them are helping each other become a growth catalyst for each other. The seventh point and the seventh secret is fairness. How fair are each and every person of the team to each other? Are they working with biases? Are they having prejudices about each other? Are they creating perceptions? So the dynamism is that how do they operate without judgment? Take each other the way they are, accept them for who they are, and then figure out how to work together. Now, that is the characteristic and the secret of a motivated team. And coming to the eighth secret is the secure base. How do each member of the team make each other feel secure and safe? How do they work without creating any doubts in each other or towards the objective? How do people not have any hidden agenda? Now, we all have worked in different teams. We have experiences of different teams. We all know that when people operate with hidden agendas, it can actually erode the entire motivation of the team. So how team members understand that working with each other, giving a secure base to each other, and not trying to work, by justifying their own self, by saving themselves, by trying to just be below the radar and just getting the work done. Not doing this, but having a secure environment where insecurity doesn't exist within the team. Now, insecurity is the biggest eroder of a motivated team. So when an ounce of insecurity seeps into the team, then the team's motivation level goes down, because then every individual operates out of their insecurities. And that can become a very big deterrent for a motivated team. And when you have a motivated team and they work together, the results are different. But when all this doesn't happen, then we know that the results are very different. So the secret is there. But as a leader, as a team member, as a business owner, are you willing to look at these secrets? And are you willing to work on these secrets is the biggest secret. So the biggest secret becomes the leader himself or themselves or herself. Because if the leader doesn't get these 8 secrets, then there is no secret. And it doesn't work, because then there is no motivation. So what I would suggest is have a look at your own team, have a look at your own organizations. And the team doesn't necessarily mean that the people that you are working as a leader, but it also means the kind of network that you are interacting with. Who are the people who become a part of the organization or the business that you are in? And in that, see if these characteristics are existing or not. Which is that 1 or 2 characteristics that you may like to pick up and work to make it a motivated team? So it is not necessarily as one organization, but is also important for you to go beyond your organizations to look at the network as a whole and see in those groups how you can leverage and create those motivated teams, because we are a part of a whole. Team is also a part of a whole, and the whole is a part of the team. So it's not necessarily that just as an organization leader, but within the organization and outside the organization. How are you looking at these secrets? So just to reiterate once, the leader is the biggest secret who can make or break a motivated team. And then within the team, there are 8 secrets, starting with leader's passion, respect amongst each other, recognizing each other's individuality, having the trust on each other without judgments, conversations, being a growth catalyst and helping each other grow, no biases, no perceptions to be created, giving a secure base and a fair opportunity for each other to work. So this is what I would like to talk about in creating a motivated team. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for the opportunity. Thanks,
Thank you,
Priya. Over to you.
Shalini. Thank you, Shalini. Thank you, Ruth. I think both your sessions were interesting from point of view being a leader and a team member, where Ruth's covered the whole communication, the emotional intelligence, and the skills required. And from you, Shalini, how as a leader you need to really put the team together. The great points. Sometimes you wonder how to put them because we're all individuals in our own right. But I think these are important lessons that each one of us has learned today. I would like to thank both of you for your time and your efforts for coming to the Women Economic Forum. And on behalf of the Women Economic Forum, I'd like to bestow an award for you, which is of an iconic woman creating a better world for all. So thank you so much. There would have been a big applause, but it's a big applause from our side for a fabulous work that both of you are doing. And keep continuing with that. And see you soon again at the next web.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
you.
Priya.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Ruth.
much.
All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Salina, thanks. Bye.
Dr. Padmakshi, would you like to put on your camera, please?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon. I'm just trying.
So
checking.
down below, you'll have this thing called video. So you can just press on that where mute was. Yeah, perfect. Great.
Namaste.
So we are live, Doctor, and I am your host for this afternoon.
Hello,
And
very good afternoon.
my name is Priya. I am an all member, and I also work with the Indian Hotel Company Limited as a manager with them.
Nice.
We have 30 minutes for your session, and I would like you to take it the way you would be interested in doing. And,
no problem. You tell me, how do I take it? I will only listen to the moderator. That's what I generally do.
No, so I haven't been able to discuss the questions with you. So I would like you to just take your session. You're speaking on a very interesting topic, which is as a parent, I'm really been interested to know what you talk about. Because parenting in digital times and embracing the change, it's been quite a game changer for all of us the last few months. We never thought we could work from home. We never thought technology would be the only means of access for us. And we've always thought that giving too much access of technology to our children is not a good thing. But today that's been the best because they're also tech savvy. They're being able to do their classes. And I'd like to hear more from you. And before that, I'd like to introduce you, Doctor. Dr. Padmakshi Lokesh is the CEO and co-founder of Smiles in Miles. So the Miles has a Z, and of course, Smiles is there. So over to you, Doctor. Please just give me 30 seconds before we close because we have a little award for you.
Please. Oh, thank you so much.
Please, all yours.
Yes. First of all, a very good afternoon to all of you, and thanks to all AAL ladies team, WEF Bangalore 2020 Summit team to have given me such a wonderful opportunity. And I would like to sincerely appreciate all your hard work efforts. I've been seeing 48 hours of non-stop hangama, if you can just call it, when people are just watching, listening, learning. It's more than important, more of a learning phase, and a lot of them are learning. And COVID has actually made us sit to confined to the four walls of our house. But still, whatever happens, if it is COVID or anything in the whole world, the show has to go on. And that is what we have all learned from all across the globe. It's not a thing which only Indians learn to somebody else learned. It is a learning lesson for everybody across the globe, which I always tell everybody, learning happens our whole lives. It just doesn't happen a single day. It's not that today I will learn, tomorrow I'll forget. No, it just keeps happening regularly. It's a constant process. If you want growth in life, then learning is something which has to happen every day. So when it comes to learning, it's generally a wrong thing which people think, that learning means only children have to learn. So I would like to tell everybody, learning happens to everybody. growth has to happen. When growth has to happen, learning has to happen. So learning is a process we all need to undergo. And I would like to ask a question, probably a very simple question because of maybe I don't have much knowledge about it or something like that. I'm just asking. Just tell me the name of one profession or one career which nobody dreamt that they wanted to do. And irrespective of come what may, they were never prepared for that, but they still end up doing. May I know what it is? Everybody wants to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a singer. Somebody wants to become a mentor. Somebody wants to become a cook and a chef and a player and cricketer and everything. And probably there is one thing which we all never thought we want to do, but it is a career which ultimately we'll end up doing it. Okay, parenting. Parenting is one task and one career which, irrespective of whether you like it or not, or you have planned it or not, and whether you want to take a training or not, you will definitely become a parent in your lifetime. So we all have to understand that no university gives me the degree of telling, okay, now you're fit enough to go become a parent, and nobody teaches us parenting skills and all those things. But so before becoming a parent, we just don't go find out universities which gives us education and we don't learn and all that stuff. So we just, with zero experience and with zero knowledge about anything, or probably with a lot of things, we still go take up the career. So that is parenting. I would like to tell you a small poem which I wrote it for regarding parenting itself to all of us. See, on this divine soil, when the earthy shells grow, amidst this heavenly bliss, there blossoms many pure souls called children. It is these children we need to actually take care. So as parents, we grow with them. We don't become parents first and then we don't have children. So the children grow, we also grow as parents. So this whole process of growth is what is very important. Parenting is not a destination we reach. Parenting is the whole journey we travel. So that we have to understand very, very clearly. Everybody says, oh my God, parenting has become so difficult. It's the most difficult job. It is so tough. Nobody listens to me. My child doesn't listen to me. Nobody understands my problem. Please understand, all across the globe, the whole process to become the parent is the same. And then ultimately, the emotions associated with the child is the same. So that cannot be changed at all. As parents, we have to understand one thing. The first foremost important feature of parenting is, are you also ready to grow as a person? When you are ready to grow as a person, and when there is growth and changes in you, that's when there will be changes as an individual, and then when your child grows too. Every individual grows by stimulation of the special senses. It's like the brain, most important. Your child also grows by stimulation. Stimulation happens when there's constant questioning. But what happens as parenting in the process? If the child asks too many questions, the first thing we say, hey, keep quiet, don't ask something stupid question. So first and foremost thing as a parent, if at all you want, there is proper growth in you and your child. Allow questioning. That's very, very important. We all need to grow as people. We need to question a lot. Just like that, we don't get answers. We get answers by only questioning. When a child wants to communicate with you through questioning, we request all of you as parents, please allow that. That's very, very important. And then I want to give you statistics. Today in digital age, what has changed? If your child is hurt, you cry. Back, even in probably 1,000 years ago, also the mother used to cry. Another 1,000 years to come, the mother is definitely going to cry if the child is hurt. What has it changed in parenting? Nothing has changed. Only thing has changed is technology came into your houses. Now you have 4 or 5 mobile phones, you have big computers, you have iPads, laptops. I don't know what else. You have everything around, and probably you've closed your eyes. The first thing we need to do is open your eyes and please look at those children. They don't need gadgets. They just need company. They just need companionship of yourselves. Now people are so engrossed in their phones that I asked, when patients come to me, I ask them, can you leave your phone for 1 hour completely? So when they tell my child is addicted, my child doesn't listen to me, without mobile phone, my child doesn't even see anything and all those stuff. I ask every parent, can you leave your phone on my table for next 1 hour without touching? The immediate response is like, what? How can I do that? It's not even possible. What happened? COVID-19 times. We had no electricity, we had no internet, we had nothing. We all sat at home. So life just goes on. So we need to understand before complaining, we also need to follow what we complain. Instead of telling your child is addicted to a substance or a material or phone, please check whether you are able to overcome your addictions. That's very, very important. Digitalization entered your parenting too. Why? Because you made it enter. Digitalization entered your cradle. Now phones, they keep telephones on and keep it inside the cradle and make the child listen to rhymes and things like that. Why? Who allowed the digitalization to enter into your houses? It is as parents, stop blaming your children. Your children didn't ask you, give me internet. Your child of 2 years doesn't even know what is internet. It is you at the age of 1 who gave a round which says Google Chrome, a red with a triangle which says YouTube. That is what you gave to your child and say, this is what you need to enjoy. Why? Why should the child listen to a story on a YouTube? Why don't you tell it? Don't you know stories? Did your parents tell you those things? Yes, they did. But the thing is, you don't even have the patience with your own self to deal with the issue. It's like, okay, because nowadays parents, they have only one children. My grandmother had 4. Her grandmother might have had 6. She didn't even complain because she was busy with all the children and the children were taking care of themselves. Now the same parent wants the child to be a doctor and he also has to sing. And the same child has to even paint. The same child has to even be a computer operator. The same child probably has to drive a bus and truck and even jet too. I don't know what all page. You have to see the amount of parents' expectation out of the child. Look at your own selves at his age or her age of your daughter or your son. As a person, were you same amount of talent? Did you have the same amount of talent as an individual way back then? The answer they give me is no. When you could not do that, how are you expecting out of this same child? They'll say, my child has to get 98%. My child has to get 95%. I said, whatever, reverse it. What if your child gets 59%? Will you throw them out of your house? What if your child fails? What happens? Will you throw them out of your house? They will have no answers. You have to listen to the kind of motivation to give the children. I appreciate motivation in the form of positivity, but look at the kind of motivation they give. Motivation is like, if you don't take 95%, that's it. What is the meaning of that's it? The child cannot even decode your that's it properly. So if you don't take a medical seat, that's it. What is the meaning of that's it? That's it is what? What are you telling the child? Are you telling the child, if you don't take that marks, you better die? What is the meaning you're trying to give? No. So that is not the right way of parenting. If you did not take 95%, did your parents throw you out of the house? My question is that to all of the parents out there. Because the statistics tells us 8 lakh people commit suicide every year across the globe. 8 lakh is not a simple number. In 8 lakh, 60% are people below 25 years. 65% are people below 25 years. We are talking about young India. We are talking about Make in India. We are talking about youngsters, make the world, future of the world. So where is the future even existing? So I request all the parents to understand something. Stand by your child, first and foremost, emotionally, irrespective of the results. That's very important. So this is parenting. Okay, if you want digitalization happening in your lives, you can catch a phone by yourself and even record your supporting statement saying, yes, I am telling my child to have a positive life. Digitalization, embarrass the change. What is the change we need to embarrass? Probably you need to take your mobile phone off your hand, keep it aside and tell your child, I am there for you. The digit, what I believe in, these are the digits. In medical terminology, these are called digits. These digits need to touch your child, not the digitalization or the digital technology which has to touch your child. Your child doesn't even need to know what's happening in Africa. The child only wants to know what's happening in their parents' life. For that, you need to open your mouth and speak, or you need to tell them that, listen, I am there with you, irrespective of the situation. That is very, very important. And then people start comparing to such an extent, say, look at that child. He took 80%, he took 90%, he took IAS state, he did that, he did this. If your child is going to question you back at same age, his parent did this, are you ready to answer? Are you ready to take it? When you are not ready to take the comparison, please don't do the comparison to your child too. That's very, very important. Because of huge comparison scales, that is one of the factor for children facing depression across the globe. That is one of the things which we really need to understand. Comparisons to unwanted things. You please compare them. You tell them that's more important. You tell them Vivekananda did this, he can be a role model. That's a way of telling. Instead of telling, look at him, he did that. Look at this, he did this. What if a child says, look at that dad, look, he's so handsome. Why are you not like that? You don't even have an answer. So please, when you don't have answers for things, don't even talk in those ways. That's very, very important. I would like to tell all the parents this across the globe. You have a Mercedes Benz, you have a Ferrari car, you have everything, a villa, a mansion across the globe, a travel to your most wanted destination. And that evening, your child tells you, I don't want you, I'm leaving you. What's life going to be? You're only going to feel, oh, really, why did I want this? Is it really going to be valuable? You want to take a family package to somewhere and say, I did my whole life, I did this for you, I did that for you, I got this for you, I brought this for you. The only thing your child asks is your time. That's it. In this whole digital time, people don't even have time to give it to their children, which is most costless, but also the most cheapest. But you decide whether you want to give this most costliest and most cheapest thing to your child, than instead of giving a 1 lakh tab and say, listen, child, I gave you this. And finally, again, you will still start cribbing. See, I am father, I've come home. I am your mother, I've come home. You're not at all giving me time. There is a saying, it is very difficult to become a parent because you're always facing the most impatient form of your own self in a small, tiny way. So it is definitely not difficult, easy to deal with them, because they will tell me, listen, when I wanted your time, you didn't have it. So you might as well take this, because karma comes back. We want our child only when we want them. We don't tell them, listen, I want them to this one. I'm doing a kitchen. I'm talking to my friend. I cannot give you my time. I'm traveling. I cannot give you my time. Your time is to be given 24/7 to your child. That is your basic job. That's a
I think we've lost Padmakshi. She should be joining us back. Please wait. Thank you. Hi, Padmakshi, we lost you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
I can
Sorry.
continue.
Yes, please. We lost you. So please start, continue.
Okay, so I was just telling, the only thing you need to give your child is your time. That's very, very important, because those children who go out and play, other than playing, instead of doing the temple run on the mobile phone, if you really go to the temple, probably the God is going to help you much better than actually sitting and typing all those things. So those children who play outside along with their parents in nature and whatever things like that, their attention span is much higher than the children who actually sit at home. Their concentration is much better than the children who don't play. Their emotional expression is much better than the children who simply sitting at home doing nothing. So if we consider, that's why there's a saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Even psychology says this. So you need to play because it leads to brain stimulation. It leads to physical stimulation. By constant playing, an individual gets exposed to what's happening in the external world. They can see failure, they can understand what is winning all about. So when they're playing with children outside, they know, okay, now if I lose, next time I will win. So all these concepts will be understood by the child in the beginning itself. So even if they lose something in their life, they'll not think about losing their lives, which is very, very important. We are addressing parenting on this levels because we want our children to be alive first, then successful. Being alive itself is the first success thing which happens in the world. So many patients who constantly tell me, doc, please save my child, whatever it is, I'm ready to do it. That when that happens in the ICUs, but they will not ready to tell the child, do whatever it is, I am ready to take it. Start telling it in the whole process itself. Instead of telling, oh, there are, and you have to see the results, post results, there's so many people who commit suicide, so many people who attempt suicide. Just imagine, so many children have the thought that, so many children tell me, I don't even want this mother. She's constantly torturing me. I don't even want this dad because he's always telling me these kind of things. Your whole life you earned for them. Your whole life you gave them food and money and everything they asked for. Or at least you claim it so. I gave them everything. You did not give them what they really wanted. That was your love, your time. So that's when so many children tell me, I don't even want this parent. There was one patient of mine, that girl says, I have constant thoughts in my mind of throwing a very big stone on my mother when she's sleeping because she's tortured me so much. So that is the effect of the negative parenting on the child. When we spoke about it to the mother, she says, I always wanted my daughter to be number one. My question is, what would have happened if she should be number two? If everybody wants to be number one, how will you differentiate between number one, two, three, and all? How does numbers matter? So that's where she has no answers. No, I was always humiliated by people. So I want my daughter to be number one. She has tortured her every day. The parent has hit her. The lady has hit her very badly with canes and things like that. And then she calls herself a very good mother. If at all she was a very good mother, the child wouldn't have attempted a suicide and says, I don't even want this. And she has very big, only biggest ideas and the only dream of her life. This was the answer. I just want to put that big rock on my mother's head. So as a mother, I don't understand what she was successful enough to give such a big dream to the child, or she was a failure because she's going to be killed one day. So this is what we have to understand. Parenting in whatever process has to be amicability with your child, friendship with your child, acceptance of your child's negatives and positives. For this to happen, you need to appreciate yourself. You need to grow with yourself. You need to understand your inadequacies. As a student, I was 50%. So even my child takes 51 means there's something more than that. All these things have to be given to the child in all positive ways. That's very, very important. See, the child needs only a storyteller. A child needs a warm heart. A child needs somebody who gives them food, not somebody who's going to press those Swiggy buttons and order food online and say, child, you eat it. No, child doesn't want food like those type of food every day. A homemade food, a mother's food, that involves a lot of love. The child sees you cooking for them. The child sees you sitting and eating with them. This is what the process is all about. Go out with your child. Go to the mall, take your child, take them to the gardens, take them to the park, take them everywhere instead of just showing everything on the mobile phone and saying, listen, you saw the best of the best Niagara Falls or whatever falls on the laptop. The child doesn't want it. Take it to a local lake or a falls near your house. Stand there, eat a simple biscuit with your child. Your child is very happy. Life is in very simple things. Life doesn't come in very complicated boxes. It's a very simple thing. You wear your nightie and jump with your child in your house. Your child is extremely happy with yourself. You buy the most costly dress, put it on your child and expect it to behave very well in public and make the child stand still like this. The child hates it. So costly things is not which matters here. The love, which is the most inexpensive thing in the whole world, is what the child needs very well. So digitalization or COVID times or anything in the world, we all understood by COVID times, we all stayed in our own houses. It's our own children, our own family we supported. My daughter tells me a joke. Hey, I stayed at home and met my parents for after a very long time. Not bad, yeah, they're very good people too. So we don't even know what we are. And then let us know ourselves first. First, look at the mirror and look at your own self saying, am I really the right person to comment about somebody else? That's when you'll growth start. You tell your child, I'm your best friend. Whatever happens, I'm going to be with you. That's when the child is going to hold your hand like this. There is a small fingers and this space are there to hold, not to close it and say, we are going to hit you. Please understand the importance of fist. It's there to hold it, not to show your child away. So whatever happens in whatever conditions, we need to understand, we need to be with them. That's very, very important. Digitalization, technology is there for only enhancement and more empowerment. It is not the only way of life. We want you to sit and teach the child. There are parents who say, I don't even know. I'm sure you'll be knowing ABCD at least. So please teach that first instead of just complaining anything. Start it. Even if you don't know, you grow with your own child. The child would have got the notes on proper noun. Come on, read it and learn it. Simple. So when you didn't even understand, how will you expect your own Xerox copy to understand the same thing? IQ levels are the same. Simple. So instead of hitting the child, look at your own self. I tell my daughter, see, listen, I only was an average student and I'm happy if you're average. If you're below average, I'll work for it. If above average, I'll be surprised because I was never an above average child. So don't give me surprises and shocks. We'll work for the development and betterment of our own selves. What if my child is developed so much that she doesn't even want me? So who reaches that state? And what if my child is so very technology savvy and says, I don't even want an old lady like you at home and wants me to stay in a ashram or something like that? No, I don't want that type of a digitalization entering my life. I did this house, built this house. We will make it a home together so that we all live together. That is exactly what it is. Digitalizations can only make houses. They cannot build your homes. So let us be here to build homes, not just houses. We are all here to be here for betterment of ourselves, child, and the society, because parenting, I want to tell you this very, very important. Parenting is just not one individual work. Parenting is a socio-economic, psychological, as well as a bureaucratic way of dealing with the child. And if at all there is a problem, then it's a problem in all these things and we need to correct it. So let us work for a better society by being away from gadgets. Instead of before pulling your child away from gadgets, it is better you pull yourself away from that. Don't push yourself towards it. Digitalization has to only enhance you than instead of making that the only way of life. That's very, very important. Be your child's best friend. That's when the whole world is going to change. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. You have any questions, anything to say, please tell me. Or I would really love you all for giving me such a wonderful opportunity, fantastic platform. I would definitely like to be associated. Wherever it is, you please call me. I would definitely come and address people in the needy, and it will be a great pleasure. Thank you so much, Priya Madam, for such a wonderful patience, and you really be one such beautiful audience, and you really interacted with me. Thank you so much. Thank you, VEF Bangalore 2020, the whole team, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Padmakshi. I think you're right to say that parenting is a career. I never thought about it, but I would say that as a woman, it changed me completely becoming a mother. And you're right to say that I've grown with the child as he's grown up. He's taught me a lot. And I've always wondered if, letting him loose on digital is good or bad. But, you've got to let the child explore for himself and not expect him to be more than what you were. If he turns out to be more than you, like in my office, everybody tells me he's done well because you were not around to irritate him. So, but you're right. We have to be there with our children. And they're the most beautiful gift of God, which we must treasure, not force our ambitions on them, and make them ever feel small, because, they're the only ones who will not retaliate right now, but then they're the ones who will hurt you the most. So, Doctor, thank you for your time.
Teach them the skills for life instead of just giving them the lessons. If they don't learn the right skills, they will become a lesson for your life.
Very
That's
true.
very important.
And that will be the most painful thing. You're right to say, if I had all the treasures in the world, it's of no use if I didn't have the child or the child went astray. So, our biggest treasure is the children which God bestows to us, and we must keep them as special and as well as we can. Doctor, on behalf of the Women Economic Forum, we'd like to award you as the iconic woman creating a better world for all. And
thank you so much.
Wishing you all the very best in your efforts. This would be a virtual award which will be emailed to you. If you would like to have a hard copy, please do write back to us. And for all the audience,
like to have a hard copy of it. And
yes,
if it's
do
possible,
write in.
I will write it.
Do write us. And
Yes.
for the audience, do write in to the help desk if you have any questions to Dr. Lokesh, and he would gladly answer. I hope so.
Definitely, it'll be my pleasure. Definitely.
Thank you so much. You have a brilliant Sunday. Thank you for your time.
You too have a great day. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
How do I leave?
You just have a button at the bottom saying leave. You can just leave from
Fine. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'll take a picture before I leave.
Sure.
So please smile. Heights of technology.
Yes.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
It was nice to meet you. I'll connect with you. Thank you.
You must. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.